Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching this morning live on Metro Television. We are live on DSTV channel 277, live on Facebook and YouTube Metro TV Ghana. Follow us on Instagram Metro TV_GH. This morning we are looking at data lost and recovery, and our expert is Kojo Aveh, who is a perceptive risk expert from the UK, a global security consultant, who will be joining us via Zoom. Kojo, if you could hear me, good morning and welcome to this morning show.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
I'm also good. Thanks for asking. This morning we are looking at data loss and recovery. Let's start with understanding what data loss is, and then we'll move to data recovery. So if you could help us to understand the two.
All right. So there are two elements of data loss.
Yeah.
There are the elements that probably an organization wouldn't want people to removing data from their environment. So if you have secure data within your environment, you wouldn't want people to be stealing that information or people exfiltrating that information. So that's data loss itself. But I believe the one we are going to be focusing on today is about individual or corporation or business that you have your information and you want to keep it. You don't want to lose it. You want to protect it. So you are making sure that it is there whenever you need it.
Okay. So then if we are moving to data recovery, then what are some of the things you must consider, or what are the important things you must consider when you are trying to recover your data?
Cool. So first of all, we need to ensure that our systems are up to date. These are the usual standard stuff. You need to ensure that your software is up to date. Also, before you can actually save your data, make sure that you save your data at the right places. When you are working on your system, you know there are areas that when you want to save your information on your laptop or computer, it allows you to save. It is very important that you don't save your information on the desktop.
Okay.
Because when you save the information on the desktop, when you lose the machine, it goes with the data.
Yeah.
So try and save it in a file, in a document. So at least when you actually log in somewhere else where you can actually get it. Also, ensure that whatever file that you save, you have a backup copy. When I say backup copy, that means you've actually made another copy. You can make a copy on a USB stick as well. So at least, you know, when the system is corrupt, you have
a backup plan.
Another information on USB stick. Also, you can also have a way of ensuring that when you save it, you have your systems linking up to another system. So in a way, you are syncing up your data.
Okay.
Yeah. So that at least you know that you are actually having a copy when you are saving it.
Okay, but you are talking about extending the information to other, drives. How would you know that this particular hard drive you are using is not going to fail you?
That is why I'm saying that, because you are having different copies. So at least when one fails, you know that you have another one that is actually waiting for you.
But what if the hard drive in your computer, you don't have an extender hard drive that you use for yourself, just the computer hard drive you are relying on? How do you know that that particular one is good or is not going to fail you?
So that is why you have to actually save it in the cloud as well. So that is when you save it in the cloud, it's more of a backup, because the cloud, you don't own the cloud.
Yeah.
The cloud is kind of like you've given your computer to a friend or someone somewhere, and he's saving information on it for you. So whatever happens to your hard drive is still in the cloud. So when you are working on the document and you are saving it in your document on your system, try and sync it, try and update it so that the one in the cloud will also be updated. So you are kind of having a live document, updated document. So anytime you go into your cloud, you also have a live document in there.
Does every machine have a cloud? Because I know that iCloud and clouds are more often used on the iPhones and the Mac and so on and so forth. But these clouds that you are talking about, in this recent times, sometimes you get a suggestion that is telling you to buy or pay. So does every machine have a cloud for me to extend my folder or my file onto this cloud?
Yes, so all the modern systems that we have now, you have some sort of cloud attached to it, all the accounts you have.
Okay.
Remember, you have an email address, right?
True.
You have used Google, right?
Yeah.
Google Drive, you have free cloud Google Drive in there as well.
Okay.
That you can make good use of it. You
Yeah.
have Microsoft SharePoint, it's in the cloud. So you can make good use of all these free elements, which obviously you are not working on tons of trillions of information. So you always have some sort of capacity to take your information. And if you need as well, if you are a business and you need a larger
company
cloud space,
yeah,
you can actually purchase the free ones. We have Dropbox, we have Box, we have the other one, standalone one, and you can still sync them to your account. So you always have some sort of cloud storage, whatever account you are using. Even if you are using, I think when you're using Android now, it comes with its cloud as well. So remember, you've purchased the hardware, and it comes with the software. So you always have some free accounts on there.
Okay. So how long does it take you to recover a lost data?
That's what I say. It depends on one. It depends on
the file,
how you saved it.
Okay.
It depends on the size you saved it, and it's always going to be available in a way for you.
Okay.
So, and as long as it's not corrupted, make sure that you also have antivirus. It's not corrupted.
Yeah.
You can be saving it on the external hard drive, but if the external hard drive is corrupted, then you wouldn't be able to recover it. So make sure that your system is up to date. Itself is the number one priority. When it's up to date, you are sure of getting it. And the speed of your internet is also one of the elements that will help you to be able to recover it on time.
Kojo, you are talking about how fast your data is, and you are in the UK, we are in Ghana. Sometimes you come to Ghana and you know how the system is, right? And there's a difference. So let's go through.
There's always a difference.
Yeah. There's always a difference, which you agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go through some of the megabytes or the gigabytes you need when you are actually trying to save a huge data or you are trying to recover your data back. What gigabytes or megabytes? How big do you need it?
Yeah, so that is an interesting question because all will depend on the amount of data that you actually work with and you want to save. And that is where you have to need the size. So if you have 2 4x4s, you want to have a bigger garage.
Yeah.
If you are planning to have one small little car for around, you want to have a small garage. So all depends on the individuals. So as individuals, I don't think you need a huge gigabyte because you are not working on a wide corporation-wide information. You are just trying to keep the bare minimum information that you need, and also to ensure that you're always up to date. When you don't need the information, try to delete the information. When you don't need it, so at least it doesn't occupy space. The more information you have, the slower it becomes to recover. So try to delete all the information that you don't need, so at least you keep the ones that you need, and that is easier. It makes it easier for you to recover them when you need them as well.
Okay.
Just example, like when you are just carrying a whole load of packages that you don't actually need and you're traveling, it weighs you down. So try to keep the bare minimum that you need.
Yeah, you create space for yourself. But I know we are talking
Exactly.
about data recovery, but then let's talk a little about the data loss. What causes data loss? I mean, how can you be there and you just lose the data? What causes it?
So data loss, remember, we are working with technology. We are working with systems that it can fail us as well. So bear in
Yeah,
mind, everything that we're using now, we can be on Zoom now and this Zoom can get a breach. Zoom can get technical issues that we actually lose this conversation.
true.
So it's technology. So we need to bear that in mind. Secondly, also we need to also bear in mind that uh, people can also steal your information. People can actually hack into your information. All depends on who you are, whether you are a corporation, whether you are an individual, you are an important person, or somebody is targeting you as well. So that also is another form of losing information. And thirdly, your systems. Because when you are backing up your system, probably you didn't back it up well. You didn't actually follow the right procedure, and you haven't tested it as well. So ensure that everything that you save, every now and then you test it to ensure that it's there. Because if it gets corrupted, then that itself also you lose it.
Okay, now let's talk about the DLP, that is the data loss prevention. How do we prevent all these things? I mean, you talked about backup. Backup is very, very important. When you back up, you are able to recover your data or your file. Now let's talk about the data loss prevention. How do we prevent all these things?
Yes, thank you. So the data loss prevention, I'm glad you touched on that because we are going on to the higher end of things. Data loss prevention ideally is meant for businesses,
Okay.
ideally, because, or it's meant for maybe very, very important people who probably more prone to attack or who
Yeah.
are more targeted. So ensuring that you have a business and you want to keep your business, you want to protect your business, you want to protect the information of the people that work with you or your intellectual property, which is your business information. The data loss prevention is a system, or let's put it in a way like a software mechanism that helps you to actually monitor your endpoints when people are trying to steal information or people are trying to pull information out of your network that you don't want them to actually see. So let's say I'm trying to I work within a metro network, and I'm trying to get information that I'm not supposed to get that information. Even
Yeah.
if I'm supposed to look at that information, probably I'm not supposed to cipher that information out of the corporation. So data loss prevention, one, can actually flag up. Some of them can actually prevent me from taking this amount, maybe saying I'm taking 1 gig or 2 gig, because that is how you set it. So
True.
that means it's going to prevent me from taking that information out of there. Also, it depends on your limitation, how you've actually programmed it. It can also allow me to actually else filtrate that information, but it sends notification, it sends logs as to, oh, could you pull out this information? So at
Yeah.
least you can have an audit trail as to who is taking information from the system and how much information is going out of the system.
Yeah.
So it's different strand. It can actually prevent you. You can set it in a way that not just ordinary data. You can set it in the way that people can actually email outside and send, okay, let's say your national insurance number or social security number or whatever, because it can actually pick up those figures.
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's medical information. You can set it in a way. So it's a whole sort of suite that you can actually set it, that it actually prevents people from exfiltrating information out of your network.
Okay, that's a lot. You've thought about the types, and now if someone gets the DLP software, how do they implement it?
Yep. So the DLP software come in different forms. your your environment and the type of businesses will determine the ones that you want. All, remember, comes with cost, and you need to be ensured that the return of investment. You don't want to actually get something which is costing you maybe £200, but the information you are trying to protect is only £100. That means you are losing as a business. It doesn't make sense. So you have to balance the risk against the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have a DLP software and you can afford it and you have the money, you have the resources, and it's needed, then also comes with the features. Which elements do you want to enable?
Yeah.
You want to enable maybe, as I mentioned, you want to enable maybe the areas that actually can pick up maybe social security numbers as well.
True.
Or maybe you work in the hospital or you deal with the medical issues. So elements that can pick up over here our maybe NHS number or that sort of things. Or maybe all depends on the elements you want to enable.
Yeah.
So there are tons of elements, and you need to be sure that you need these elements, features enabled, because somebody will also have to monitor that. Somebody will also have to understand that to ensure that, yes, these features are enabled, so that we will be monitoring that. You don't want to enable almost all the features,
Yeah.
and you don't have oversight. You don't have oversight of all the features as well.
True.
So even if it's flagging up or it's giving you logs, you can't actually understand the logs. So you enable the features that you need, or depends on your need as well and your business need.
Yeah. I think in Ghana, we need the hacking and the tracing, because that's important. You have to enable those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would depend on the individual business and their
Yes.
leaders.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But if your company is not that huge, if your company is not really big, do you still need the DLP?
That is what I'm saying. It doesn't make business sense, because
Yeah.
everything that we are doing with cyber, information security, whatever, data privacy, remember, is business first. So when it comes to business first, whatever we are doing now is risk management. And with risk management, you need to balance your risk against what the benefit. So if you are small businesses and you are not actually sure that your business is going to be in attack and people are not going to be targeting you, or your business is not that people really need any information from your business, you don't really need to cost yourself with DLP, because it doesn't make business sense. But if your business is high risk business, and maybe you are storing tons of information, tons of customer information, medical information, whatever, then you need to start looking at DLP and you need to start implementing. By itself, you need to start also understanding the features that will help your business, not going to get the whole package and it's going to cost you, let's say, £100, but you just need about only £5 of that suit.
Okay, Kojo, thank you very much. But then before I allow you to go, I mean, the people, the whole world is mourning the people's queen. And I just want to know how everything is from your side, because you are there. We are just watching on television. We are watching everything on social media. But then you are there. Tell me, how is the situation? How's the environment?
To be honest, they say the country is mourning, so they say. So we just have to go with the flow. And there are a lot of people around here who are more dear to the monarchists.
Yeah.
So it's personal to them.
Yeah.
And there are people who also is kind of like business as usual.
True.
But as a whole, as a country, yes, the country is still functioning, but everywhere is more of the funeral and that sort of thing. And thankfully, some of us will have a bank holiday on Monday, and we'll be looking forward to it. And may she rest in peace. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I know we are still mourning, but then we have a new king. How are the people reacting to our new king? Even though there hasn't been the coronation first, the funeral has to, and then we think about the coronation. But then what is the reaction from people?
People are very passionate, to be honest.
Okay.
People are very, very passionate.
Yeah.
We don't have that sort of passionate and patriotism kind of thing in Ghana
Yeah.
per se. But you've got people who are coming from outside the country, coming purposely for this. So people are really passionate, and you have to give it to them. It's part of this institution is actually part of the country. They actually own the country. Let's put it that way. So the reaction is very personal to others. So and you need to be careful when you are kind of having such conversation with other people and
Yeah.
you don't know where you stand. So
True.
yes, he's taking over everything. Let's put it that way. All the topics and all the conversation is that. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kojo Aveh, and I really, really appreciate your time. We can't wait to see you in Ghana, to have you in the studios of Metro Television again. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate your time. Yeah.
Right,
so we were speaking to Kojo Aveh, who is a perceptive risk expert from the UK, telling us more about data loss and recovery. That's where we end today's show. My name is Nanaya Tanoabuache. At 3 to 4, I will be back with Entertainment Review. Up next is Good Morning Ghana with Dr. Randy Abbey. Enjoy the rest of our programs.